What is going on, guys? We are back with another video with the Red Fire Terminator. So today is Friday. I just got the engine. I had to go pick it up in Jacksonville because they were taking forever, and I want to get this swapped this weekend. So we have the engine here. It has valve covers and timing cover and oil pan. We're gonna go ahead and get all this stripped off because we have a fresh timing cover, we have a fresh valve cover, and we're also gonna check pickup tube clearance. Very important when putting together an engine like this. Make sure you have adequate oil pressure. So before we even get started with the Red Fire car, we gotta get this engine ready. Now, I also have my UPR tubular K-member right here. We have brand new tubular A-arms that we're gonna attach to there. We have the Viking coilovers, so we're gonna get this whole unit basically ready to drop in the car before we even drop out that K. So we have an 03 Cobra rack, we have a UPR tubular K. We're gonna get rid of these ugly old control arms, clean this all up, get it all ready. So when we drop that out, it's gonna be an easy swapperoo. All right, guys, so we made good timing of getting this torn apart. See, aftermarket cams, a good way to spot them is having the hex head right there. These are specifically Todd Warren cams, 9-thread heads, ARP head studs. Everything's looking pretty good there. I did notice that this doesn't have the desirable tensioners in it. Do they work? Yeah, pretty much, but I wish that those were the metal version. Other than that, everything's looking really good so far. We're gonna flip it over and take a look. This also has upgraded valve springs as well. Okay, guys, so one of the most important things ever. For one, this pickup tube looks a little suspect. It was shipped on a pallet. There's a chance that it might have hit the pan, but whenever you're buying a used, new engine, built motor, whatever, you have to do this. Like, this is so extremely important to set yourself up for success. And you need two things: caliper gauge, clay, Play-Doh, whatever. What we're gonna do is measure the pickup tube clearance to the bottom of the pan. This is to ensure that you have adequate oil pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece of clay, I'm gonna stick it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the pan on. I have a new oil pan gasket, but we're gonna use this old one because it's right there. Assuming that they're the same brand, which they are. We're gonna put the pan down, squish this clay down, and then we're gonna remove it again and see what the measurement of this is. That will tell us what the pickup tube clearance is. If this thing is smushed like a pancake, we know our answer. Now you can see we have the DSS main support system. We got Manley rods, Manley pistons, 8-bolt forged crank. Everything looks pretty good. I don't see any signs of metal or anything concerning anywhere. Looking really solid. So let's set ourselves up for success. Get going. All right, guys, so it's not easy to film and measure this, but I had this on there before I even moved and disrupted this. I measured it, but you can also, if you can extract it without deforming the clay, you can also use this to measure off the car. But essentially what I have gotten in multiple areas is 0.31, which is definitely in the acceptable range. I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.275 to 0.35 a clearance. So I think we are plenty good. I did notice that this is a little like ovaled almost, but even then I've noticed that measuring this clay throughout, we have adequate clearance throughout. So I think we are gonna be good to go, even with that little bit of issue there. So that's about what that looked like. Squished down. Remember, I've also taken this up, but the idea is to measure, you know, your clearance. So right there. So we put the pan on, smushed it down, and got that. So that should be adequate clearance to get this right. I'm gonna go ahead and clear out anything that's in here. I noticed this is like RTV. This happens when you put an engine together. And he also took this pan and everything apart to get pictures before I bought this. But yeah, this is pretty common. That's just a little bit of RTV. We're gonna go clear anything out, make sure everything's clean, and we're gonna get ready to seal this up. Throw this old oil pan gasket away, clean all surfaces, get the new timing cover, and get it ready for the new valve covers. Okay, so we got the engine kind of in a standstill state, waiting for the valve covers, some other odds and ends. Balancer, 03 Cobra balancer, water pump, that stuff is on here. So we're at a stopping point there, but I think we can go ahead and get our K-member ready. We have a brand new UPR tubular A-arms. It's one of the reasons why I chose to use this K-member. I ended up putting a Team Z tubular K I had laying around in the silver Cobra. So if you guys still want that roller, it's still got a nice K-member and A-arms. I just figured I put the brand new stuff that I already bought in with this car. So I just pressure washed this out. It looks decent. It's not brand new, but it looks pretty good. And once we get those tubular A-arms on there, it's gonna look pretty good. We're going with the Viking coilovers. These have been on Turdzilla, the Bullet, the Silver Cobra, and now the Red Fire Cobra. So I was considering putting some BCs on it, and I might still do that, but this is the best set that I had laying around. So that's what's gonna go on the Red Fire car. All right, guys, so got the knuckles off. If you guys have ever done that, it's a pain in the butt. It helps if you're not reusing the ball joint, which we aren't. So smack that thing until the little nut turns into a mushroom, bag it off, hit it off with the impact, and then we're good to go. So now we're gonna go ahead and knock the control arms off. All right, well, that escalated. K-member by itself. Steering rack. I didn't realize that you had to pull the steering rack to pull the control arm bolts out, but we are now blasted apart. Time for reassembly with the new nice parts. All right, so we have the assembled tubular K-member, A-arms, stock knuckles, tie rods, steering rack back on. Looking good. I think we're gonna wait and we'll install the coilovers when it gets in the car. That way, when we're sandwiching everything back together, it won't have any risk of hitting the fender or something silly like that. And these are just 2 bolts away from basically installing right into the car. So I think we can actually drop the engine into the K. All right, guys, so I have been busy over here getting the engine all ready. Like I said, valve covers. These are just to basically cover things up. The valve covers and all the nice powder coated stuff done by Blake, KMJ Motorsports. Blake is powder coating everything up. So yeah, these headers, big old middle finger to those, especially this side. This primary was not even close to lining up. These are Cook's headers. JDM Engineering by Cook's, so like right there. Not a fan, but we got them on. So that is what it is looking like. I think we should be able to use the old chain here. We're gonna pull the blower off because the blower is not even on, and set it down in the K, because we got motor mounts. The cool thing is I have basically an entire spare engine, whatever. Basically this whole thing rig is ready to rock. So when we drop this out tomorrow, we're gonna basically be able to take the engine, K-member, everything, toss that right off to the side, take the trans, clutch, flywheel, and transfer over to here. And this K-member is gonna be ready to rock and slide right in. Really, really cool way to go about it. Hopefully it works out. This chain thing may be super ugly in the videos, but it is incredibly handy, as you guys can see. Okay guys, it's about 11 o'clock. Got a lot done, a lot of the tedious stuff done. I got the shop cleaned up. There's obviously a million things going on. There's an engine build going over there. That's an engine waiting to get picked up, going to the Philippines actually. We got the front area clear, ready for the car to back out and get it into this bay so we can go ahead and basically drop the K-member out, slide that whole pallet out, swap the trans over, and we'll be in business. I can't wait to see this with the new powder coated valve covers, the coil covers, the crossover, and the pulley bridge. It's gonna look really awesome. We gotta shine up the old ported blower a little bit, but it's looking really good. So long tube headers were the worst to install, absolutely awful. We got it in there. It does have this aftermarket pan. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's what we got to work with. So the cool thing is we essentially have 2 of everything. So we should have plenty of what we need to make this work. Cool thing is this is a running driving car. So we know we can build a running driving car from essentially 2 drivetrains. So yeah, I think as long as we don't hit any snags, assuming that this has an 8-bolt flywheel, it's possible for this to have a 6-bolt flywheel if someone has put the wrong motor in this car. But it did look like a McLeod RST or RXT with the gold flywheel. So fingers crossed, hopefully that's correct. If we do hit a snag, it is what it is. But I'd like to hopefully have this in the car tomorrow, shouldn't take too long. It really isn't that hard to drop these engine trans out. Honestly, I think the power steering takes most of the time. The power steering is super annoying to pull on these cars. And I'm actually gonna be swapping over to electric power steering, which will be a good little swap, make things a little bit easier. We're gonna make a line from there to there. Adds a little bit of complication to the swap, but if you guys have dealt with these power steering setups, they're a little bit of a pain. And they also pretty much always leak. So we're gonna go over to the electric power steering, I think, unless I change my mind tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. I also have a bunch of other parts on the shelf. We got wideband, oil pressure gauge somewhere around here. Mega Squirt, which I actually don't know where it is at the moment, but it is somewhere over here in the pile of parts waiting to go in. We also have the return fuel system. So dual 525s, feed, return, basically everything we need to support, well, it'll be 1,000 horsepower, but we're just going for about 600-ish on this little Eaton. See what it can do.
Last start with Old Smoky.
Good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Oh my God. Deck. Right there is the new power plant all set up on the subframe. We got Old Smoky ready to be pulled. We got Sweater 5000
Dude,
here.
it hasn't started yet, okay?
Sweat check.
It hasn't started yet. Look, I got the shorts on. I had to switch real fast.
This man rode in here with jeans.
I did.
We got Mr. Cody over here,
Hello.
the mad scientist himself. Andrew is really excited about something. Really thorough with what he's doing when he doesn't have his glasses on.
I couldn't even find him this morning. Last night was kind of a late night.
It was late night for both of us. I actually had a late night powder coating some valve covers, but
It's not your fault.
guys, I think Prismatic sent us the wrong powder. This is supposed to be red fire, which I don't know if you can tell, guys, but that is 100% like violet, not red fire. We don't have time to waste, and we're going to be using these wrinkle forward blue valve covers, which should look nice, have a nice contrast in the engine bay. Get one last final look at the original motor. All right, folks. Old Smoky is this close to being dropped on the ground, onto the pallet, removed from the old red fire vert, and we're this close to putting that ported Stegmeyer built motor in the car. She's loose and ready to come. Sweat check?
Not sweating. Not sweating, dude.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. I just
Uh-oh.
got out of the air-conditioned car.
He just said, I'm hitting the button. It's kind of moving around.
We're already hung up. So.
Yeah, hit it.
Well, let's just come forward. See anything?
I think the back is hung up on something.
We gotta watch your steering shaft. Yeah.
I don't think it's sitting on the pallet.
Looks like it's weak. Well, yeah, I mean, it's
I think the rear is holding it up into the car still.
oh, there you go.
Whatever it was, just
What was that, Cody? It would definitely
the steering shaft was holding it in.
all I know, here's the expert analysis. The engine is not in the same spot it once was. That's what I got. Hold up. That's what I'm telling Alright, I think we're clear. Hold up. Cody, we clear? Yeah. Too bad. Shoot, buddy. Alright, so now all we got to do is do the exact reverse. That's it, right? And we're good to go? It's almost a transmission jack for that. It has to lean to the rear. Yeah, that's right.
Do I say it?
What's that?
I'm gonna say it. Freedom Parts Outlet, $13,000. Terminator dropout, low mile, never been driven hard,
She smokes just a little bit.
never seen rain.
It smokes just a little bit. Fresh oil change.
Piston weight reduction mod.
It's got that, this thing is so fast for what it is. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dude, they're pretty even. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. He got you there.
That sounds fucking right.
Every time I pull up the damn camera, bro.
Fucking great.
right, well, we have been trying to keep the shop as clean as possible, but you know how it goes. So we got the old blown up Terminator engine up on the stand. We will make a full video tearing this down, but this is gonna kind of sit, and we're gonna steal a few bolts and various things off of it. As you can see, I actually found out that owner number 4 had this engine rebuilt. So this is not even the original engine. You can see iron block is painted. There's also one of these heads is painted on the back, one isn't. Someone's definitely been in this thing, we know that. 8-bolt crank, so that's good sign. And there is oil sitting on every single valve. So yeah, anyways, let's talk about the new heart of the Terminator. We had some issues with the red fire powder coat. Blake powder coated them and they came out purple. So something got mixed up somewhere. I had these laying around, came in clutch. So we're kind of going with that OEM Ford blue, kind of like the GT500, ported polished blower. It's gonna look pretty sick in there. We got some other accents too. We got the pulley bridge, which is in silver ivory, I think. So this is gonna look sick. Might do a few other accents in this color, but this looks killer. I'm really excited to get this all in order. There's a lot of cleanup to do. We're getting there. What do you think, Bradley?
The blue is definitely the move now.
Yeah.
And the purple.
Let me show the purple. So this is supposed to be Illusion Cherry, and
If it was darker, you could maybe get away with it, but
nah, we set these on and it was not the move. Maybe if the blower was like black and the car wasn't red, but like the
Yeah.
car being red and purple, it just didn't work. So
ain't it.
if any of you guys want some freshly powder coated purple valve covers, let me know. Obviously, C-head Terminator setup. But yeah, these kind of got put back here on the back area. All right, guys, so it's about midnight and we're wrapping up. I'll show you guys this here in a second. It's been a long day, a lot of things to do, and this thing looks awesome. Let's go check it out. All right, so it is Saturday. I know Monday I got a car to tune, so I'm trying to get things organized so that way we can get a car in on the dyno. This drivetrain looks awesome. So the original intention was red fire type valve covers. Had these blue laying around and it looks freaking killer. We got the silver, I think ivory or something like that on the pulley bridge. Polished Eaton sitting on the tubular K, looking freaking killer. Not far off from stabbing the trans together, but a few more things to tidy up, but it is looking killer. We got the Metco stuff, a lot of Metco idlers, Metco 6-pound lower. This thing's gonna be getting ready to eat. All right, so hopefully we should be going this week. We still have quite a bit left to do in terms of getting the car ready. We have to, well, we will have to do an exhaust, but we do have the H-pipe ready to go. So we'll just have to mate that up there. We didn't know that this was welded all the way through. So it's got Magnapacks on it. We're gonna get that solved, not a big deal. We got the engine bay clean, blasted, pressure washed, everything there. We're gonna have to get running on a Mega Squirt, also wideband, oil pressure, and flex fuel. We have the fuel system over there. So we're in the runnings, but we still got a lot left to do. I hate to do it. I've really been doing a good job of kind of just doing one whole video, full swaps, but I think we got enough to leave it off here. It's gonna be a few days and I'd like to conclude this video. If you guys are loving the Terminator content, hit a like button down below. This drivetrain looks awesome, I can't wait. We have the T56 ready to go back in. It does have a McLeod RST, it's not my favorite clutch, but it is the same clutch we're running in the Lightning swap. Seems to be holding up. So we're gonna run it for a bit and then probably change it out to something else, maybe a Magnum later on, but we're gonna work with what we got. We're still trying to keep this budget friendly, but not cut corners where it's gonna make things really hard later. Something like a clutch, transmission, those are super easy to pull out when they're in the car. So make sure you hit that like button, comment down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.